click on the render settings and click on the general tab and select the V-Ray bridge, and in the V-Ray bridge tag we're going to select the GI tag, and we're going to turn it on and change the value for the fast render. We're going to make an infinite light for our lighting, and I'm just going to rename these objects that don't have a name right now, but we are trying to keep everything organized. So if we need to come back later on, we know exactly what we have. And let's just reposition the light. We're going to, for this scene, we're going to use only one light, which is going to be a V-Ray light with the sun option on, and that is going to be enough to have good lighting for this particular scene. It doesn't have to be too complicated all the time. So I just linked that light to the view, and now when I move the camera, I am actually moving the light. So wherever this view is pointing at is where the light is going to point at. And we go back to the perspective view now. Okay, let's make a new camera. And we are going to apply the V-Ray physical camera tag. And I'm going to put a protection tag on it, so I can no longer move this camera because I like the composition that I got there. So I cannot move this any longer unless I delete that tag. And now let's select the light and right click and select the V-Ray tag. And now go to the common tab and turn on the enable shadows option, and then go to the sun light tag and turn on the physical sun option, and let's make a quick render. We have too much light there, so I'm going to turn on the physical sky option, because we got something like too yellow. The lighting is too yellow and we don't want that. And now as we can see, there is too much light because we just enabled the physical sky. But we also can see that the walls and the floor now look kind of blue instead of the yellow that we had before. That is also because of the physical sky option that we just enabled. And right now we have a lot of light, so I think I'm going to decrease the intensity multiplier for the sky. We're just going to take it down to around 35, and maybe I'm going to change also the turbidity to maybe to 3.5, and now let's see how it looks. And it still is very bright, so we're going to go to the V-Ray physical camera tag, and we're going to change the shutter speed to 300. And this is one of the great things of having a V-Ray physical camera, that you can actually change the values for the ISO and also the f-stop and the shutter speed, just like you would do with any physical camera like a Nikon or a Canon or some other professional camera. Okay, so now we can see that we have that the scene still is too bright, so we are going to take this shutter speed value to 350, and it looks better. It looks a little bit better, but we still have some burn areas in the back. So we're going to take the shutter speed to 400 and make a quick render so we can see how good or how bad it looks. Okay, so we still have some extra light there, so I'm going to take it to 450, and maybe that will do the job. Okay, that looks better. I think that would work, because if we still increasing the shutter speed, we're going to get the rest of the scene darker, and we don't want that, so we're just going to leave it there. Okay, so I'm just going to make another render, this time a little bit bigger, so we can see actually in more detail how the lighting of this scene is. I kind of like the lighting. The only thing is that we have some shadows going uh, out of the scene, and that doesn't look good. It's not good for composition. So we're going to have to move the camera, but we have the protection tag, so we're going to take that protection away for a second, and we can move the camera and just adjust the camera position, and let's see how it looks. Hopefully you will have a better computer than mine, so your renders will go faster. Okay, so I just moved the camera to the left a little bit more, and now the shadows are complete, and they are all in the scene. So and that's better. I would recommend that you try to learn V-Ray because it's a great plugin, and once you learn V-Ray you can do great things with the minimum effort. And if you work with 3D Studio Max or another uh, 3D program besides Cinema 4D, you can use V-Ray too. So it is like a standard. Okay, the lighting, I like the lighting, so I think we're going to keep it that way. So now let's go to the window and let's bring the materials window out, and let's make a new material, but it's going to be a V-Ray material, a V-Ray advanced material. So we just click twice on the material to open the material editor window. And we're going to change the preview to a bigger size, so we can see what changes we're making to the material. And we're going to select a texture, a wood texture for the floor, and I'm going to just copy this texture and I'm going to paste it on the bump channel, and I will decrease the bump. I don't see any changes. Okay, I think I know why it's because I didn't turn on the bump. So I first have to turn it on. Okay, let's first modify the specular layer. Since it's going to be a wooden floor, we need some reflections there. And if you don't really know how to use the V-Ray materials or the V-Ray render in general, you can just play with it and figure it out, and it's really simple to use. I mean, at first it may be a little bit complicated, but after you get the basics, you will be able to do really nice things. Okay, so I'm just adjusting the values for this material, and you can just play with the settings, and when you like the way your material looks, you can just move on to the next layer. So maybe I'm going to put some reflection to this material, but I have to we don't want that reflective, so we're going to take the amount to the something around 95, 96. And maybe we are going to use a Fresnel. No, maybe not. No, I think we're not going to use a Fresnel for this one. Okay. Okay, let's apply this a material to the floor, but we have to modify it. So we just click on the material tag, and we have to change the projection to cubic, and we have also changed the scale for the X and the Y axis. Okay, so let's protect our camera again, so we cannot longer move it. And let's make a preview with that new material for the floor. One thing that I would like to recommend you is that you follow this when you are making a scene. I would recommend that you first do all the modeling, and don't spend your time and don't waste your time lighting the scene and applying textures, because at the end you are going to change it all, because that's basically the way 3D works. If you apply textures and lighting at the beginning, at the end you are going to change it anyways. So I would recommend that you first do all the modeling, and when you're done with the modeling you can go and move on to the lighting, and once you are happy with the lighting you can move on to the texturing, and when you're done with that you can do animation or anything else you need. Okay, so I'm just going to rename this material to floor 01, and I'm going to duplicate it, and let's just change the texture, and you can find lots of free textures for 3D online. You can just Google anything like wood texture or wall texture, and you will find lots of free textures for you to use. Okay, so now I just turn on the bump, and I made that's too much bump. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so the floor looks decent, doesn't look too bad. I'm just trying with the settings for the bump. Okay, so we're going to make a test for this new material, and we have to do the same thing, just changing the projection to cubic and also scaling the length. Okay, let's see how the floor looks. I think I like the other one better. So this render is taking too long. And so I think I'm going to keep the other flow instead of this one because I like more the way that the other one looks and it renders faster. So I think I'm just gonna keep the other texture for the flow. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep the other one. So you have to move the positions and the other one is there. Okay, so let's make a new material. V-Ray material. And let's apply a noise to the diffuse layer, and let's make it a dark gray, and let's also play with the specular for this material. Okay, so maybe I'm going to change the specular amount, the specular layer transparency, because we don't want it to be too reflective. I'm going to change to this sphere view. Okay, so I'm going to add some reflection, not too much, just a little bit. And I'm going to rename this texture to weights. And we're going to apply uh, this new texture to the weights. And let's make a preview render. So we can see that the noise is too big. So we have to make that noise smaller. So we go back to the tag and we are just going to try to make that noise a little bit smaller. And actually, I think I'm going to change it from the material editor. So we're going to scale it. Let's make another render to see how it looks. Okay, it's smaller now, but I still don't like it too much. So we still have to edit this material. So let's go to the reflection and let's make it a little bit more reflective. Okay, I kind of like it, but I would like to have this material a bit darker. So let's go to the diffuse channel and make the material darker. Maybe not too dark. And let's see how it looks. So I just duplicated that floor because it's taking too long to render the scene. So I just duplicated the floor and deleted the materials and turned off the original floor with the materials. So now when we render, the materials for the floor will not take the render time because the floor is going to have no materials, and hopefully it's going to render faster. sometimes you have to work uh, really long time with the material, because if you don't get the material right, it's like if you don't get the modeling right, because the material gives more realism to the scene than the actual modeling. If your materials don't look right, then your modeling will not look right either. So you have to spend some time with um, the lighting and the materials, the texturing part. Okay, so that material looks good. I like it. I'm just going to try it with a different projection style to see which one works better. It looks good. So this is a really slow process, because we have the lighting, and we also have the texture so that we're creating. So it's going to take some time, this process. But one thing you can do is turn off the global illumination, so the renders will go faster, and you won't have to spend too much time when trying to see how your textures look. But the only bad thing about that is that you're not going to get the exact looks, because you will have the um, global illumination turned off. So we can just keep working with the global illumination, but it is up to you the way you prefer to do it. And now I just uh, made this material a little bit darker, even more. I'm going to, maybe I'm going to move something here in the reflection layer. Maybe not. Maybe the Fresnel. I want to use the but no. I think we're good with the Fresnel now. Okay, so when you're working with V-Ray, it is important that uh, all of your elements that have to do with textures and lighting, it is very important that all of your elements have the V-Ray tag, so they work. I mean, they work better together. If you have if you're using V-Ray, it's good to have your lights with the V-Ray light tag, and your cameras with the V-Ray physical camera tag, and all of your materials. Um, if you have materials, it's better if you use the V-Ray materials because they work better together. And let's make another quick render view. Let's see how it looks. Okay, I think finally we got the material we were looking for. I like it. I like the reflections, and yeah, I think I will keep this one. It looks really good. I like it. So I'm gonna call it done for this material. And let's make a new material. It's going to be another V-Ray material. And for this one, it's going to be really easy. We're just going to turn on the reflection layer, and we're going to leave it like that, since it's going to be the metallic part for the handlebars. And let's apply this to the handlebars. Let's make a new V-Ray advanced material, and let's turn on the bump, and let's apply a wall texture to it, and let's give it some let's give it more bump, maybe with number 10, and let's apply that one to the walls. And let's change the projection to cubic, and let's make a render to see how it looks. Okay, so we cannot really see that, but it's good that we don't have just plain walls, even if you cannot notice the bump. We know that it is there, and sometimes if you just keep a wall completely flat, it looks like it doesn't look real. So it's better that you add some bump to the walls. Okay, so let's see how it looks, the whole scene. By the way, that material that I had on the red material that I have on the protection part of the dumbbells, It's the material I was making before, but I decided not to include that in the tutorial because later on I think I'm not gonna use it, so it would be just a waste of time. So I'm just not going to include that on the tutorial because I'm going to change it.